Hi guys, let me show you how to create an action path to invite your users for an ongoing webinar. We're going to start with the page visit trigger. I click configure and as usual I go to tutorials.cool.com, the element that contains not equals. I click save. And what is really important for me is that I want to target only these people who haven't registered for the webinar yet. So I click filters and let's assume that every person who registers receives a particular tag webinar 1. So I want to target the folks without such a tag. So the tag does not contain webinar 1. Or also I can add email, which is unknown, and I think that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. So there's the visitor on my website. I have checked that the person still hasn't registered, signed up to the webinar yet. So what am I going to do? Basically, I need to take delay. I need to wait like 3 seconds. I think it's reasonable. And after 3 seconds, I'm going to show a form with a kind invitation to the webinar. I have already prepared such a form, webinar form. Perfect. And if the person submits, so the person who wants to take part in the webinar, we are going to send a confirmation email. Okay, so campaign, webinar email, perfect. And what's very important is that when the person clicks, when the person submits the form, hey, yeah, I want to take part in the webinar, we're going to send the email campaign. And if the person clicks like verify your email address, we can add a tag, which will be webinar number 1. Add tag, webinar 1, add save, so that we know who has who is interested in the webinar. And now, after sending this email, we're going to wait, for example, 24 hours, and within 24 hours, we are going to send another email campaign, just to remind the person about the webinar. So as you can see, it's so super easy to create a form, to create a campaign. All the details connected with the mechanisms, how to do it, where to do it, you will find in the description of this video. Of course, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them on chat or sending us an email. But to cut the long story short, we have just created an action path to target every single person who still hasn't shown any kind of, let's say the person still hasn't signed for the webinar. So we filter only these folks, and we show a form with an invitation for an ongoing webinar, then an email to confirm the email, to verify the email address is sent. If the person clicks verify your email address, we are going to add a tag, and after 24 hours we are sending another email campaign just to remind about the webinar. Thank you very much.